On today's video, we go in search of a couple of canyons. The road we're on today is Highway 10, or County Road 10 in Colorado, in northwestern Colorado. If you go down south on Highway 430 from Rock Springs, when you cross the border into Colorado, it becomes this road. It is a dirt road, but it's a well-maintained dirt road. But I've never been on it. The reason I chose to come down onto this road on this trip was because I've never been on this road, and it's interesting to me that a lot of people use this road as a shortcut to get down to Grand Junction and places like that, down into western Colorado. So I wasn't really knowing what to expect as far as scenery and everything else. I did know that I would probably end up over by the Green River and Dinosaur National Monument at one point, and a highway that would take me back up to Highway 191. And then to my surprise, I found this. Didn't know it existed. This is Irish Canyon. It's a little recreational spot in western Colorado. Didn't know it was here, and as we approached it, I was like, wow, this is really pretty. There are campgrounds up here. There's a place to recreate. The only thing it's really missing is any kind of water, you know? But who knows, I explored around enough. But just the high vistas and the high rocks and the vegetation, very beautiful. This area is known for the Fremont Indians, and that they pretty much roamed up in this area for a long time. But the reason why it's called Irish Canyon is because, and I found this out at the rest stop that's at the mouth of the canyon on the other side, which will be coming out here in a few minutes, that some Irish outlaws about 100 years ago, who would routinely go up and rob people, businesses, or whatever, up in the Rock Springs area. This is where they would come down to hide out. Whole reason why I've done these things all summer long, and this was recorded back in early August. But I'm getting around to doing the audio and the explanation and the video now, just because I wanted to get a better microphone and better microphone system. So anyway, it's fascinating to learn the history of the areas where you're at. And there's no place on this planet that doesn't have a history. And history needs to be remembered, even if it's somewhat leans to the mythical side. So we're coming out of the canyon right there, and we passed the rest stop, but I decided I wanted to turn around and go back and check it out. We're going to show you some photos that we've taken and a couple of videos that we've taken right around the area when we got out. One is of a big rock that has some Indian art on it. I also show you a picture that I took of the sign that explains the rock with Indian art. You can pause the video and see if you can read it. It may not have turned out too well. All right, we're back on County Road 10 in Colorado again, heading down. It's going to intersect into Colorado Highway 318, I believe, and we're going to start heading north on that. That highway takes you up into Utah, and then over to it follows the Green River for a while, and then it goes up through a mountain, and it ends up taking you to an intersection of 191, just right on the Wyoming-Utah border. In this trip, we actually went all the way over there. The camera, I didn't have enough camera to go through that canyon, so maybe next summer, next year, we might go through that canyon the other way and come down in this area again. But we really enjoyed the views. It's kind of hazy, but that was because of the California fires. But if you look up ahead, there's a mountain range up there, and that's kind of where we're going. And that was very beautiful and very majestic. As you can see, the road is kind of winding down, and it seems like up here, this is where it actually intersects with the Highway 318 that I just mentioned. Another place down here is Brown State Wildlife Refuge, and this 318 goes right through it, so we were able to go through that, and we stopped and went and saw some of this sites around the river and everything else. Unfortunately, I like I said, my camera ran out of battery, and so I didn't get any footage of that area. Like I said, I'll probably return here because there's still a lot more to see. Next year, I plan on maybe doing some drone work, getting a drone and actually doing some drone when I'm out here on these highways, and so that we can have some better visuals of what we're seeing as we're going across these beautiful western areas. Kind of a funny story. Coming up, we're going to turn on a road that takes us down to our second destination, which is another canyon. Unfortunately, we don't drive through that canyon because the river actually goes through that canyon, the Green River, and it's called the Gates of Ladore. But the funny story is right at the intersection where we turn onto this road, there's a school, and the school is called Browns State Park School. And because it was there, Tara assumed that there was a city called Brown State Park, or Brown State, and I was like, no, there's no town or city or like that. Well, they have a school. Well, it's a ranching school, because this is really heavily ranching area. There's the school right there. So I thought that was kind of funny, telling on my wife there. So this is a kind of a trek going in on this road. This is an off branch of the County 10 road. Like, they have different, like 10 South, 10S, 10N, 10 West, 10, like that. So this one, I'm not sure what it was. I can't remember, but it comes up and it intersects with another one that's labeled 10. So a lot of these roads are labeled 10 with like a letter by them. turn right onto this road, and this road will eventually end at the mouth of the gates of Ladore. And there's a campground down there. There's also a ranger station. There's a new one that they built, and that's the one that they currently use. And then there's a log cabin that they used as a ranger station up until, I think, 1961 is what they said. I'm not sure. Can't quite remember that. But when they built the new one, they stopped using the old one. But they didn't get rid of the old one because it has some historical significance. Originally, it was built by an entrepreneur back in the 1900s or 1910s or 20s, right around there. And his goal was to do river tours, camping, and different things like that, and basically be the guide and the scout for those and everything else. But unfortunately, when the Great Depression came around, it hit him pretty hard, and he had to abandon it. And then the Colorado government bought the cabin and used it as a ranger station until the new one was built. We're going to show you pictures of that at the end of the video, of that cabin. As you can see, the mountain range ahead of us, it's glorious. The camera doesn't do it any service at all. It is just gloriously. There's not many places in Wyoming that I would say revels it. And there we are, the gates of Ladore, from a distance. And of course, we're going to show you some pictures of it, zoomed in and everything else. We could have taken a trail down and just actually looked over into it, but we didn't want to. We didn't feel like we had the equipment to go hiking that day. So that's going to be a next time trip. Who knows? I might even talk Tara into floating the river, and I guess it's got some pretty decent rapids. So when I got home after going down here and seeing this, I did a search on YouTube of the Gates of Ladore, and there are several rafting videos out there, which was fun to watch. So this is the campground that I was talking about, and there were people down there just kind of hanging out. What else do you do in the midst of COVID? So here's a picture from the beach right by the river, and this is still in the campground area. And that's the Gates of Ladore close up. I zoomed in with my camera, actually my phone, and then of course the mountains on the side of it and stuff. This is telling you about the Canyon Camp log cabin, and here's the log cabin I was telling you about. Pretty cool. Or ranger station. So that's going to be a wrap on the video today. Like and subscribe if you like, and may you be empowered to prosper.